Shalom, family. Just checking in again as just coming forth to bring another video of another edition of Spiritual Food for Thought. As I always say, family, I'm not trying to teach you or persuade you or nothing, but just give you something to consider. You know, the Most High today is opening up the mysteries of the kingdom because it's during the time of He is harvesting the souls of those who He has chosen since the beginning of the foundation of the earth by the revelation of His truth that comes from within. As I've said before, the absolute truth of the Most High power comes from within, the revelation of His absolute truth of His kingdom. It don't come from external sources or anything like that, but it does come from within because He's placed and given a portion of His Ruach to all men within us, okay? And those that are chosen to be born of the Spirit, eventually that hunger and thirst to understand their place and their purpose within His divine order is the very thing that draws us to Him. So it is the time of harvest that He is beginning to wrap up this His allowance of allowing Hasatan to rule and reign in this earth and continue to keep His people in bondage. So the Most High has given us the weapons of understanding that empowers us and empowers us to be able to overcome the darkness of our prison that we've existed in. And that's been locked in the prisons of all the lies and things that we've been taught by this world. And it's nothing that's been but that's been backed by the spirit of Hasatan, which is the spirit of lies and deceit. Okay, so this is why it's all our responsibility. And the only way we can be delivered from this, family, is that you must seek the Most High for yourself so that He can give you the understanding you need to overcome in your life that He's chosen for you. As I said, we can no longer go on living other people's dreams and all their directions and all these things, family. But the Creator created you to be you. He didn't create you to be like nobody else or none of that. He desires you to be you. But you can't come into understanding the oneness of His love and the beauty of what and who He created you to be in this process of creation that's ultimately going to be a part of His kingdom. Okay? See, until we receive the love of our Creator, family, we can't love ourselves and we can't love anything around us. And this is what causes us to become an Elohim to ourselves, where we then go forth trying to conquer our environment to make it conducive to our convenience and comfort. And that includes people around us. That includes the place or space that we exist in. Okay? And various things around us that lift us up in pride, that causes us to justify our existence being separated from the perfect will of our Creator. Okay, so with that said, I just wanted to talk a little bit about a couple of things, and I guess the main thing that came to me to elaborate on is soul versus spirit, or Ruach. Okay? See, we got to understand that our soul and our spirit is at battle. Okay, right now, that's what's been going on in us. As I said, the soul is the spirit of our senses. Okay, of sight, touch, taste, smell, and hearing. Okay, if you take away those senses, what exists for that being? Nothing exists. Okay? And so the thing we have to understand is this is where Hasatan plays on the desires of our flesh. Okay? It comes through our senses and the anticipation of the sense of pleasure that we'll experience through whatever that act or whatever that was brought to our mind. This is the thing that drives us. And this is the thing that actually causes us to get caught up in our emotions. And once we're caught up in our emotions, family, this is when, unless we're grounded in the spirit, we yield to those desires. Okay? See, what the spirit does, see, that's the essence of the Most High Power. So what the spirit does, it brings us into the understanding of our Creator. Whereas we come to understand the purpose of that desire, whatever it is. Okay? And ultimately, if that desire doesn't edify our Creator, then it's simply lust of the flesh. Okay, what I'm saying? So we get caught up in our emotions and how we feel, in our drive and desire to always feel good or feel lifted up or edified in some way. This is what drives us to the decisions that we make. Okay? But you know, just like I said, that one scripture where Yeshua told old Hooffoot, told him that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of the Father. Okay? Now, the Spirit gives us the discernment that we need to weigh this desire in the Spirit. And if we don't see how it edifies the Father, but all it's going to do is edify our flesh or exalt our flesh, which ultimately continues to build on our self-awareness of self that's separated from the Most High Power. Okay? So these are the things that, you know, the Father is opening up to us right now in these days and in these times, that's bringing us to realization as created beings that our purpose is to serve our Creator, okay, and not ourselves, and not lift ourselves up and become a little God unto ourselves, where we think everything is based on us and our desires and what we want and our pleasure, because that's not the way it is. As I said, the Most High don't mind us enjoying pleasure, family, but it's got to be within His divine order of things, okay? And so, as we begin to understand these things through the revelation of the Spirit, it gives us the ability to put our soul in its place. And as we receive the understanding of the mind of our Father, even the soul ultimately comes into agreement. That's when we say things that make sense. Yeah, because the Father designed us to work this way. And in our fallen nature, we're out of order. So we're being run by our souls. And the souls need to be subject to the Spirit. See, if we're being run by our souls, family, we weaken the spirit, man. So that's why we're so impulsive and we'll just do things without even thinking about it, because we're being driven by that desire for pleasure, okay? Well, we can't live that way, because that's being under the spirit of Hasatan. And that's where pride is going on and all of these things. It causes us to be out of sync with the perfect will of the Most High, which causes us to be what we are right now, spiritual zombies. Because the bottom line is, to be a spiritual zombie is what? It's being dead to the perfect will of the Most High Power. So it causes us to walk in a realm of understanding that we're in opposition to the Most High Power, because we think it's about us. And that's what pride will do. So the only way we can come to understand these things and overcome this stuff, family, is through the birthing of His Spirit, to receive the understanding of the mind of our Creator, which will ultimately cause us to be in obedience with Him, where we don't do anything that violates Him. Because as we understand, this is why He says, in all you're getting, get understanding, family, because without understanding, we're caught up in a lie. And this existence that we exist in right now, this is the lies of Hasatan. So we have to be delivered from this, but until we understand as created beings, we don't have the power to deliver ourselves but by the Spirit of the Most High. So this is why we have to keep seeking Him and asking Him for His wisdom to give us the understanding to know what and who we dealing with, so that we can overcome anything that's caught up in the vain imagination that exalts itself against the understanding of the Most High power. And that's this world that we exist in. This is why we must be born again, because it's the only way we can be delivered from this darkness and brought into the truth of His kingdom, which is what He's in the process of manifesting as He continues to reveal more of Himself to His people. And ultimately, we're going to be separated from this world. And He's going to manifest the judgment upon Hasatan's world to bring forth His kingdom. And so this is why, we got to understand ourselves. So understanding that there's a difference between the soul and the spirit. The soul is the spirit of our senses. That's what the soul is. The spirit is the understanding, the very nature of the Most High power. And when I say the very nature of Him, I mean where all things that He created as far as the kingdom is concerned walk in the understanding in their minds and their being of their purpose within His divine order, which causes us to be able to be ourselves in Him, to understand ourselves in Him, so that we're able to overcome that dark nature in us and yield to the perfect will of the Most High power through the understanding of His mind. So we understand our place and our purpose, and we understand that every step we make, on our journey to the kingdom was ordained and by the Most High power. Because those who He's chosen, He's equipped to go through every trial and test that He's ordained for us to go through. Because the reality of this existence, family, is that this is how the Most High chose to prove those who are His, to take us through the process of creation, and through the understanding of His Spirit, we're able to walk in obedience to His perfect will, okay, and deny ourselves the things of this world, to see things for what they really are, and understand in the Spirit, which causes us, as I said, to walk in obedience to His will. So, as I said, understand there's a difference between the soul and the spirit. And, that's part of the battle right there, just to understand that difference, through the revelation of His mind. Like I said, it's the beauty of what I see the Most High doing as He's sharing these mysteries with us to help us to overcome ourselves. Because if we don't know ourselves, we can't overcome ourselves. And that's our biggest need, family, is to be delivered from the lies of Hasatan that's caused us to be lifted up and become a little God or Elohim to ourselves, or we continue to walk in opposition to the perfect will of Him. And the perfect will is the Most High, of the Most High, is the oneness of His love, and to understand yourselves as created beings so that we can yield to His will for us. And this is how we serve Him in the kingdom. First, until you can able, if we're not able to understand ourselves through His eyes, to understand that all He ever wanted us to be is ourselves, but with the understanding of His mind, to understand our purpose so we can walk in that and not walk after our own ways. So the bottom line is, it's only possible to come to that place, family, as we birthed in the Spirit. So, anyway, I guess with that said, that's all I got to say about that. Know it's a difference between the soul and the spirit. Once again, the soul is the spirit of our senses. But the spirit is the understanding of the Most High power which we came forth from, which will put us in a place where we understand our purpose as created beings to serve Him. So as we're able to understand our purpose, we're able to walk in obedience to Him and resist the spirit of our senses, which is the flesh, that causes us to be enslaved to our desires if we're not born of the spirit. So with that said, family, till the next time, pray the peace of the Most High rest, rule, and abide in your life upon you as long as you continue to seek Him out for yourself. So till next time, shalom.